Hi, we're at the house of 2126 Lytle Street in Louisville, Kentucky. This is an Allstate claim that's a wind-related claim. Looking at the front elevation of the property. There's a large tree fall in the backyard that originates in the neighbor's property. On this video that we want to do is show the damage to the roof that's wind related and not tree related, and some condition issues with the shingles, which we believe prevent repairs to be done without creating more damage. You can see here, there's a tree that came down. So that's the neighbor's property. The tree is on the other side of the fence. You can see it just toppled right here and has fallen onto the homeowner's chain link fence, and then also his wooden fence in the backyard, or at the very back line of the property. You can see back here. So there's damage to that area of fence, as well as this area of chain link, which is about, I'm going to say it's 6 feet tall, and we're looking at a section of about 20 feet. And then of course the back fence row, which is another 20 feet, and it's a wooden fence. Let's see if I can't really get any closer without having to walk underneath the tree. Anyways, here's the back of the property. The dwellings here in this neighborhood are really crowded and up on top of one another, so it's hard to get side views. Since we're going up on the back side of the roof, or the back side of the dwelling, we'll start from the back and move our way forward. There's a section of wooden fascia here that's broken off. It's got to be wind related. The back section of the roof here, the modified bitumen, it's kind of rough. It looks like a tear here, possible impact damage from the fascia falling down. Oh, actually, let me change that. There's a piece of wire tied in here, and that wire runs out to where the tree fell. So actually, the tree falling did trigger this piece of fascia coming off the back of the house right here. It also shows that the cable has dug into the roofing material here on this flat section. Okay, so here's an overview of the left slope. Down at the bottom of the left slope, bottom corner towards the back, there's a missing shingle here. There's another shingle or tab right over here that's got a crease line that has formed in it. Here's a wind damaged shingle here, and also here. Then on the right slope, here's the overview. We found some damage here. There's some additional damage here in this area. Some of the caps have been blown, the ridge caps. And then here's the overview of the front sort of hip area. Should be noted that there is one satellite dish and 3 box vents. And on the front, some more evidence of wind damage here as well. The box vents show a history of hail impact. There's quite a bit of this going on the slope as well, where you can see granules that have been pressed into the center of an impact. Here's another view of the box vent. You can see the indentations there. And the same thing is true for the 3rd box vent back there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a simulated shingle replacement. We found this damaged shingle here. And so we're going to call that row 0 with the corresponding rows 1 and 2 above the damaged shingle. And what we're going to attempt to do is pull this shingle out in a similar way that if we were going to replace the shingle for repair. And then we're going to notice what the condition of the rows above are after the work. Right now, those rows 1 and 2 look pretty clean. I don't see any evidence of wind damage or lines or cracks or loss of granules, just here on this one shingle. So the tools we'll be using are a roofer's hammer and a pry device. And then also when I nail the shingles back in, I'm going to be going in with 1 1/4 roofing nails. I'm going to set the camera here. Hopefully it won't stop. I left my tripod at home accidentally, and let's see here. Let's see if we can make this work. All right, are we rolling? Yes, all right. Okay, so I'll try to point to what we're working on here. 0, 1, and 2. Row 0, 1, and 2. This is the damaged shingle. Let's see if we can. Close the. All right, so the glue, there's glue there, but it's not totally terrible. Okay, so row 0 is loosened up. Row 1, those are not even attached. Row 2, and then row 3. Okay. All right. Row 3. All right. So there's a set of nails that runs along the middle section of this shingle and then again up higher. So we have to remove the fasteners from a couple rows in order to get that shingle loose. one more for this row. Then row number 2. Hey, come on now. Yeah, I think we're there. Nope, there's one more in here somewhere. Alright, it's up high. Okay. So, here's the removed shingle right here. I'm going to pick up the camera. We're going to come over and take a look at things. All right, there's where the row was removed. Here's the actual damaged shingle here. Now, for row 0, that's out. Row 1, I'm starting to see some granule loss happening here. But not so much yet on row number 2. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the shingle and see where things are from there. Make sure the camera is still going. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, is my understanding Allstate doesn't acknowledge brittleness tests, and credit goes to Allstate for that, because when you do a Hague-style brittle test, you're going to lift the shingle about 45 degrees and then come down and look and see if there's any loss of granules. The problem with that test is that it's not practical, because in the event of an actual shingle repair, you're going to have to lift the tab up quite a bit higher in order to strike the hammer without hitting the edge of the tab. So we'll be careful here to try to not lift them too high, but just enough to drive the fasteners in. Okay, now let's take a look at this. I don't know at what point the camera fell, but here we go. So here we have row 0. We knew that one was damaged in the past, and I haven't touched these shingles in terms of brushing out the granules, but there's definite evidence of brittleness and breakdown of these shingles. So row number one, we'll come in close here. You can see it's cracked and granule loss. And then row number two, yeah, same thing. So there's definite issues with repairability on these shingles. One more thing I wanted to look at real quick before I turn off the video is I noticed that they had drip edge installed, but I didn't check to see how many layers of shingles that we're dealing with here. Okay, so here's our top row. When I lift that up, there's a whole nother row of shingles up under there. Okay.